Our last speaker of this batch is Ashkan Kalantary. He is head of the PwC initiative NextLevel and director entrepreneurial and venture capital business at PwC. He brought with us for us this topic. It's called Why Corporate Like Startups. So warm applause for Ashkan. Thanks for being here. It's great.
Thank you for having me. Thank you very much. Thank you for having me here. My PwC colleagues and I, we were today here and talking a lot about how startups and corporates can collaborate and what the reasons are. And I think when we talk about disruption is so negative. I brought with us or with me today some really nice examples why it's not only disruption, but why it's more chance also for corporates to work with startups. But let's take a step back and think about how the world is changing. I mean, when we at PwC talk to our clients often tell us, look, PwC, we understood there is digital transformation happening, and you can explain us, or you explained us to make it by ourselves, but access to talent is so difficult. How can I build something when I don't have a UX designer? So the opportunity is to partner or to invest into startups and try to get solutions out of these investments or out of these partnerships. And they see that industries are diluting, and not only industries are diluting. I come to this with another example. We see also that timing is different, right? So that's a little bit mixed with German. Sorry for that. It's about so. In the past, it took 20 years that a company turned to a unicorn. Today, we see it really hard decreasing. And with Oculus Rift, we had a game changer last year, the first unicorn which became a unicorn after only 14 months of time of existence. This is something which is really crazy, really fast, and building it up by yourself needs time and needs innovation and open innovation, and this is something which is difficult, where might collaboration with startups help. Another thing, everybody who, I think everybody of us realized yesterday, Libra. I mean, Libra is the new cryptocurrency of Facebook. So when Facebook started, and I had talks with Axel Springer, and they told us, yeah, this is not a media company. And then they turned to a media company. It was not just a networking company. And now the banks, I had a meeting last week with a client, I can't say the name, and I discussed with them disruption, and they told me, yeah, but they will not do anything in the currency stuff. And then yesterday the news came out, and Facebook is now becoming a bank, because they see that this is the next step to still survive, because also Facebook is under disruption and under high pressure. Everybody is running to LinkedIn or Instagram. I mean, they have luck, Instagram is theirs, and WhatsApp as well. But now the next step is paying cryptocurrency. It will also help in regions where we don't have the same banking infrastructure like in Germany. So when you talk to corporates and you ask them, and we have some real nice examples out of our work, when you talk to them and say, what do you really like or what do you enjoy when you work with startups, except these speed and digital transformation stuff and disruption? So what are the reasons why you work with them? Then we get the very first idea, they are disruptive. And this is a picture of one of my clients. It's called Diamond Tech. Diamond Tech is a company they invented together with they are carved out from the Frankfurt University. And what they invented is pickless sugar measurement. So you put your finger on a sugar measure device, it measures in 30 seconds, and you know your sugar. This is a 19 billion market. So imagine what happened when we showed this to our existing clients, which we serve more than decades of years, like Roche, who is dominating this market, and they saw the solution. So this is something they say, okay, what is the next thing which could disrupt my business, or which could bring me new ideas? Another thing is fast growth. I just I just talked about Oculus Lens. I have another nice example. I'm from Berlin, so I came here by train. And I was sitting in the train, and I became an email from the big train company in Germany, and they said, "Yeah, I mean, sure, it was a mistake to underestimate buses, right? We were the number one in the bus market. We had a monopoly. Then Flixbus came, and yeah, it was maybe a mistake with the bikes. So we were the first bike sharing provider in Germany, and now we have everywhere bikes, right?" And I was sitting there and I was like, "Hey guys, you are already disrupted on the trail as well, because Flixbus has now a train which is serving from south of Germany to north through Berlin, right? So this is something also they need to be fast. You need to cooperate. You need to partner with them, and I think this is something which is really a strong learning also for our clients. And another thing is when you often talk to some of our clients, they say, okay, this is something which might not be so successful. So they're just doing revenues. They are not doing profit, but they are too exit driven. But we see that this is also turning, right? Today there was a press release from Delivery Hero. They told this is one of our longer clients. They told us they do now 1.4 billion revenues. This is something which is great. And everybody who thinks that Delivery Hero is a food logistica, that's wrong. Now imagine what happens. We have a big problem in the last mile delivery in Germany. And they are building up infrastructures in every bigger city, and they can transport everything. This is how you have to look at these companies, right? So it's really interesting. So these are the factors. And one other factor is surely, and this was something it was mentioned in the panel before. I was at the panel of where corporates work with startups of Peter Bartels, and also on the speech of Peter. It's a real problem. So when you are sitting, like, everybody knows Germany, right? So, and when you look at Germany, the west and the south is full of Mittelstand, of small, medium entities, successful family businesses, successful blue chip companies, because we had Germany was divided, and that's the main reason, and all the new stuff is in Berlin. And now they have the problem. You want to be client-centric. Your clients in the B2B sector are in the west and the south. So it's really difficult to get people, UX designer, to Neukirch, where BSH sits, for example, right? And this is something you have also, it is an access to talents to work with startups. It doesn't mean that you have to transform you completely or bring it to you, to Neukirch, but it helps you to solve your issues. I have to speed up, I see. But the most advantages by the collaboration from a corporate perspective is innovation, culture, and talents. That's what we see. That's where we try to tackle it also. But what is the benefit for the startups? So you can imagine a lot. It's market expertise, right? When I want to grow in a market and I don't have the expertise, it helps me to work together. Imagine Diamond Tech, the blood sugar measurement. If they would work together with Roche and use their selling structures in all markets, would be amazing for them, right? So access to market expertise, and also internationality. It's so difficult. You get so many compliance issues when you start doing business internationally. Tax changes. You need to foundations, co-foundations. Think about joint ventures in China. It makes your life really hard, and this might be easier when you have a strong partner. With a big bag. Range, access to new clients. Access to new clients because it's about trust also. When I talk about my Diamond Tech example, a lot of people come to me and say, Ed, I know it was this company in the US which failed, but this was not, it's not with the blood sugar measurement. I forgot the name of it, but it is a famous. What was the name?
With the female founder.
Yeah, with the female founder, and everybody is mixing it up, right? It's so trust is difficult when you want to get access to specific clients in the health sector. It's really difficult. So you need to be trustable, and having a big corporation with you helps you to be trustable. So when we look at these benefits for startups, it's so that we have at least, so I would say there are three major advantages for startups. It's one, access to knowledge, how to go in the market, how to leverage a market, how to increase, how to scale into markets. The second is access to customer, right? New customers, existing customers of the corporates, and the third one is also access to funding. So if you are tightly connected to a corporate, they have funding, and this will help also to grow. And that is exactly what we do at PwC with this solutions. So it's a little bit Schleichwerbung now, but I was asked to do it. It's what we do is we have a program. It's called Scale. This is and startups are our clients, so not corporates. So explicitly, my clients are startups. So and these startups are in these programs. We do these programs 8 times a year. We coached only this year 50 scale-ups, post-revenue, post-product. And what we do is we get them master classes. We help them how to go to market, how to price in different market, how to handle with transfer prices, and how to get access to investors and give them investor introductions and corporate introductions in specific evenings. And we have a lot of clients, so we did this program very, very often. We do this 8 times this year. We have health again, mobility, fintech, and HR as the next batch. And I would I would love to see more of maybe some guys of you in our alumni family. So if you're interested, just come over and let's talk.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Ashkan. That was excellent. Okay. We have 6 minutes for your questions. Are there any initial questions? Then I have one. You talked a lot about. Sorry, I'll see you later afterwards. You talked a lot about the things that, of course, corporates are attracted by when cooperating with startups. But what are the learnings that you have found? What are the things that might go wrong? What are the things that someone really has to know when they're starting to work with startups? Because there's a lot of things, I guess, in that relationship that are not always that.
So what I experience? Great question. What I experience is when I go to big corporates like Deutsche Bahn or something like that. They say we have an accelerator. We have this, we tried this, we did this. But when you ask them, is it successful? Then you really see the smiling turns into a really sad view of the fate. Founder who is at the beginning of the 30s or end of 20s, and he comes to a business unit leader from a corporate who is doing this job for 30 years. It's really difficult to them to work on an eye level, and this is something where you need moderation, where you need help, and this is, I would say, this is a real big learning. So I see a lot of people trying to sell accelerator programs. I don't think this is successful. I think it's much more interesting, or it's much more beneficial to sell moderation, and this is also what BMW Garage did, what Pilot 27 does, and this is also what we do with Scale Plus.
Okay. Now your question.
I would like to understand how you interlink open innovation and scaling, because at the beginning you said a startup that can really scale fast in 40 months to become a unicorn.
Yeah.
With open innovation. And open innovation, in my understanding, is helping you to create something, and becoming a unicorn is the second phase when you scale it.
Yeah.
So can you repeat the question?
Yeah. The question was how to connect or how to link open innovation when you are really at stage zero to becoming a unicorn. I think that's also a very important question. Let me try to answer it. It's when you look in the German market, you see 380,000 foundations a year. It's huge, right? You see. And we all know there's the kiosk, the taxi driver, but in the 380,000 are 78,000 innovation foundations. So they have an innovation background. And the good question is how to turn these, and we all know World Economic Forum named Germany last year as the #1 innovation country in the world. So the question is how can we turn these innovations into unicorns, right? And I think a big problem in Germany is really we have a very poor capital market. So Series A funding is one of the biggest problems in Germany. When I advise startups, I send them over to UK to help them to get Series A funding, because you need funding, not only access to customer or production capacity, you need funding to build up your product, your minimal viable product, to try to scale it. And this is also, we try to educate our clients, because they are, in German clients are really risk averse. So we try to educate them, and the good thing is the interest rates are so low, so they are listening more to us, because they know they need to do something, right? Yeah.
Are you thinking, sorry.
No, no, good.
Sure.
Are you thinking to get the capital helps me as a startup to use open innovation?
Now, the question is, what do you want to try? You have to test the open innovation and to have to test the market, right? But a lot of startups fail before testing it. So the turn ratio from the 80,000 startups to scale-ups is, we have only 600 scale-ups a year. So, and when I ask them, they tell me, yeah, out of money and out of collaboration. So this is something which is really important here, I think, yeah.
Is there another question? Can you name a few examples? I've asked this Peter as well. His topic was more on family businesses and how they innovate. But from your experience, are there some examples that you could share of successful cooperation between startups and corporates that you've maybe witnessed or even guided along?
Sure. I mean, we can start with the very, very early one, Pro7 Sat.1, who they were really one of the first, right? And they learned, they saw digital transformation is happening in the logistic area, and they are doing advertisement, and they saw also that TV is changing, right? And they said, okay, let's try to get other ways to earn margins. And Amorelie is a startup, was a startup, and what they do is they sell products. I mean, it's a media company. It's something which is where they change to, and it's not the only product they sell. They are selling now more and more products. And we have the same also with in Berlin with the what is it name? The competitor to Wall. I forgot the name. Ströer, exactly. Ströer is exactly doing the same. So they are selling pet food, and they now started selling gaming stuff. Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.